Hello guys, I am back and today we're going to be talking about once again demons and shinobis. So yeah, let us begin. So, after the last episode, we currently see now Izuku and would look back towards the person that basically jumped from the high place. As it would be revealed to be a woman, specifically a girl wearing a yellow, not yellow, I meant, actually it's, no, orange and black crop top, while also wearing, ripped up jeans, having a tattoo on her side, and has green hair like him, but except more brighter, I guess, with golden eyes, as she would say this. So, your name's Izuku, right? She would say, as he would say this. Who are, as she would say this, the name Takagi, a part of Hibijo's elite squad, she would say, as she would say this. And I'm here to ask you this. I'm here to, let's just say, help you out, she would say, as he would say this. And what, he would say. Are you a part of some, wait, Hibijo, I heard of you. Are you perhaps one of those, Shinobi schools or something, he would say, as she would be surprised. Well, noticeably, or at least not noticeably, as she would say this. So, you know our school. Interesting, she would say. As he would say this. What do you want, he would say, as she would say this. Oh, nothing much. I'm only here to recruit you, she would say, as after saying that, Izuku would look towards her and would say, yeah, no thank you, he would say, obviously not even interested in becoming a ninja, at all, as she would say, guess I'll just have to get you through force then, she would say. As after saying so, she would jump towards him, as knives would basically appear around her, as they would be attached to strings, as she would, fire them off towards Izuku. Izuku would dodge her away, as he would say this. She's probably not that strong. Guess for now I'll just use Pyro Jack. As after saying that, he would say, Pyro Jack! You would scream out. As when Pyro Jack appears, the girl, aka Hikagi, wait for a second, Hikagi, as Hikagi would say, what the? Interesting, she would say. As she would be, on top of a pole, basically, 1 foot on the, on the pole, just like, how do I say it? She's basically like standing on a pole, specifically at the top, as she would say this. So you have the ability to summon these creatures. So, what does this thing do then, she would say. As he would say this. Pyro Jack! Agilao! He would say. As Pyro Jack would shoot off a few fireballs towards her. As she would basically jump off the pole and would land gracefully down towards the ground. As she would say this. So, it's able to use fire. Interesting, she would say. As she would bring out more and more knives, getting ready to attack him. As she would say this. This is gonna be easy, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Not easy for you to say, he would say. As after saying that, he would grab onto his, mechanical looking arm, as he would say, now. As he would fire off a blast of light, as he would say, Hama! He would say. As after being blasted, she would say, interesting, she would say. As she would say this. Quite the interesting attack. Seems to feel hot, she would say. As Izuku would say this. That's after all light attack. Well, the element light. But either way, he will probably die here anyway, he would say, as he would summon out another demon, specifically. As he would say, come forth, slime, cleave, he would say, as the slime would charge towards her with his bony hand, or at least what's left of bone, and would slice her. But she would dodge it away, getting a little scratch on her cheek, as she would say this. You actually cut my cheek. You're certainly gonna be worthy of becoming a member of Hibijo, she would say. Even though you're a boy, you're certainly gonna be a great member towards us, she would say. As he would say this, like hell, he would scream out. As he would say this, guess I'll just have to take care of you then, he would say. As he would get ready another blast from his mechanical arm, as he would say, now, Iron Fist, he would say, as he would charge towards her. As when he reached towards her, he would punch her right in the stomach, causing her to basically, spit out a bit of spit and blood. As he'd say, not bad, she would say. As he would say this, not bad yourself. As he would look towards, up in the air, as you would see a few, knives basically, you know, how do I see it? You know that scene in, like, Record of Ragnarok, where Jack the Ripper was using the knives, right? Where he basically put them up on, strings and basically launched them. Yeah, that's basically like that scene. As she would basically pull on the string on her finger and would activate the trap. As several of the knights would rush towards him, as he would say this. Now, Aramitama, he would say. As Aramitama comes out, as he would say, now, Rakukaja, he would say. As after saying so, he would be given a bit of strength, or more specifically, more defense. As after doing so, the knights would basically bounce off of him. Almost similar to, a ball bouncing off of, like, any surface. As Izuku would say this. Not even a scratch, he would say. I feel disappointed in you. As after saying that, he would basically get ready his arm once again, as he would say this. Now, my turn, he would say. As before I can actually attack, another person would arrive. But before the attack can happen, Katsuragi would rush in and would basically block the attack with her metallic boots. As after doing so, she would say this. Time for some payback, she would say. As Izuku would say this. You! What are you doing here? He would say. As she would say this. Come on, Hari. I don't want to get you hurt after all, she would say. As a few of the other members of, wait for a second. As the rest of the team Hanzo would basically arrive, including Kirya. As Kirya would say this. Girls, he would say. As they would say this. Yeah, we got it, said, Asuka. As Asuka would rush towards, Hikage. As before they can actually attack, Hikage would bring out something. As after doing that, a large explosion would, basically erupt. After doing so, the other members of Team, Hibijo, or at least soon to be Hibijo, would arrive. As she would say this. I knew that was going to be useful, she would say. But still, she would say to herself. As Homura would say this. Well. It seems that we have the useless, wait for a second. my throat. As Homura would say this. Well. If it isn't the sorry excuse for a goddamn ninja, she would say. And look, we also have him now, she would say, in our sights. As Izuku would say this. Like I said, I'm not joining any of you, he would say. But it seems that we're going to be temporarily aligned, he would say. As one of them would look towards him, specifically as the girl named Hibari, or at least, yeah, that's Hibari, as she would say this. So, we're friends now, she would say? As he would say this. Temporary, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, as, Yagi would say this. Let's focus on the task at hand, she would say. As when she said that, Izuku would say this. Yeah, got it, he would say. As after saying so, he would summon out another demon, but this time, a little bit more stronger. As he would say this. Now, come forth. As Izuku would scream out forth, come forth! Principality! He would say, as a winged person wearing a weird looking... Actually, I don't even know what the fuck is that hat! I can either call it a helmet or a crown. There's no in between, as he would also be wielding a staff with a cross on it. As he would say this, Principality, Hamon, he would say. As Principality would say this, this is the righteous light, he would say. As a few more light spears, or light-based attacks would appear around her. Specifically, one of the, members of, Crimson Squad. Or at least soon to be Crimson Squad. Mirai, aka the one that looks like, a loli, would basically dodge it away. As she would say, the heck, she would say? As she would get ready another attack, specifically creating guns, or at least making guns appear around her, as she would fire them. Even using her umbrella as a gun. As when Izuku saw this, he would say, "Duh, annoying," he would scream out. As Izuku would say this, "Come forth, Avion, Hamsa!" As when the demon appeared, it would resemble a duck with a weird-looking helmet and wielding a sword. Yeah, thinking about it, most demons in Shin Megami Tensei just look weird in general. Yeah, anyway, continuing on. As when the demon appears, he would scream out, "Now use, Maria," he would say. As after saying that, a few of the, sorry, god dang it, my throat. A few of, Team Hanzo would basically be healed, as they would say, "Thanks," they would say, as Izuku would say this. "Don't mention it," he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. "Now your turn," he would say. As he would look towards, one of the... being that of the girl with the several vials around her body, specifically Haruka. As Haruka would say this, not you," she would say, as she would basically summon out puppets, as these puppets would rush towards them, specifically Izuku and his demons. As he would say this, "Mediocre at best," he would say. As after getting stabbed by one of them, and if you're wondering, yeah, can't remember that skill's name, god damn it, that skill that made him, extra strong, specifically defensive-wise, basically, wore off, as he would say this. "Not really that strong," he would say. As he would rip off the piece of, of sword basically stuck in his arm. As he would say this. "Guess I'll just have to finish it off really, really fast," he would say. As, before he can say anything else, one of them would say this. As one of them would say this, "Shinobi Kenkai," she would say. As after saying so, the area around them would change. As Izuku would be absorbed into this weird space. As he would say this, "The hell?" he would say. As one of them would say this. "So we finally meet," she would say. As Izuku would look towards the person that said that. Specifically, one. As Homura would be revealed, as she would say this. "So, you must be the son of... So, you must be the son of Kirya. Kirya Midoriya. My sensei's master, at least used to be master. You're quite strong. I'm surprised that he didn't decide to join us. After all, the strong always win against the weak. And those weaklings don't deserve your kindness," she would say. As Izuku would say this. "I am not interested in you either. And I'm not even interested in joining this stupid game of yours. This game of Shinobis or whatever. Good and evil? What a joke." As she would say this. I'm surprised. I never thought that you would be that type of person." As you would say this. What can I say? I'm full of surprises. Now, I guess it's time for me to end this little game of ours. As he would say this. "Come forth, Lucifer." And so, this is where we're gonna be ending off this episode. Yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.